My name is Ryan here, and I'll be speaking to you about commercial and subsistence agriculture in select countries around the world. Agriculture is the single largest employer in the world. There are roughly 914 million acres of farmland just in the United States. Back in 2015, 133.1 billion worth of American agriculture products were exported around the world, and this is from Reality Works. Agriculture and farming occurs every day. The food that is produced all over the world is shipped to various countries for the supply of food for people to eat. There are two main types of farming: commercial and subsistence. Subsistence farming is nearly all crops and livestock are raised mainly for the farm's family, leaving little for trade. This happens in underdeveloped countries. Commercial farming is the production of crops for farm animals for sale, use of modern technology. In many cases, commercial farming occurs more common in more developed countries such as the United States. Factors which distinguish commercial and subsistence would be the purpose of farming, percentage of farmers in the labor force, and the use of technology and machinery, the size of the farm, and the relationship of farming to other businesses. Since both types of agriculture are used around the world, we take a look at the United States, India, and Ethiopia. The United States today's farmers are roughly 2 million people that ranch or farm, and about 90% are operated by individuals or family corporations. Many of these farms are commercial farms that sell animals or other farm products for the use of production. The United States shows the advancement of technology such as tractors, and these are advancements of commercial agriculture. American agriculture include roughly 15% of the United States population, this is from North Carolina State University. This means that agriculture provides roughly 15% of the population in the United States, which are ranchers, harvesters, and so on. America's ranchers and farmers consider themselves as professionals. Most of them are trained and certified with the use of chemicals and other technology-related equipment. They usually are certified in also testing of soil and use of fertilizer. They tend not to spend money on these costly nutrients and fertilizers unless they're completely safe, which gets into GMOs and non-GMOs, because it isn't good for their business or family's production. 30% of farmers today have attended colleges to leave them and postgraduates because many hope to keep the farm in their family's footsteps. Because of modern technology, many farmers are producing more on less acres. Because of using less acres, this leaves millions for wildlife habitat. Due to precision farming practices, crop yields tend to boost and also reduces waste using maps and computers to seed, crop production, and fertilizers. Other modern technology like computers are being used on a high percentage of farms as long as cell phone use and computer technology continues to advance. Other modern technology like these computers are being used for the use of biotechnology, food safety, and integrated pest management practices. Besides modern farming practices, a few general facts about agriculture would be ethanol and new biodiesels are made from corn and other grains to be beneficial of environment and for food energy security. And this is also by North Carolina State University. Energy created from farming improving our environment is showing how far agriculture has come. Agricultural land provides for almost 75% of the nation's wildlife. Deer, moose, waterfowl, and other species have shown significant population increases during the past several years. It is a blessing that agriculture is helping maintain and creating wildlife habitats. In some cases, agriculture harms habitats more than it helps. On average, about every hour, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, around 6 million in the U.S. agricultural products, grains, oils, cotton, vegetables, meats, snacks, etc. will be co-signed for shipment to the export and foreign markets. This shows how much agriculture is used or commercial. Commercial meaning that it is shipped for the use around the world instead of just at one's farm. Other countries like India have similar but different farming methods. Agriculture in India is in the works of development and process. As said, agriculture plays an essential role in the process of economic development of less developed countries like India. And this is stated by Tripathi and Prasad. Because agriculture is so important in these less developed countries, roughly 72% of all working population is involved with agriculture. Being a main occupation is one of the main sources of the national income for this country. The process of agriculture for self-sufficiency uses science and technology to increase yield per hectare. The programs include, under the new strategy, are 1. The high yielding of varieties of programs, 2. Multiple cropping programs, 3. Integrated development of dry areas, 4. Planting protection measures, and 5. Increase the use of fertilizers, and finally 6. New irrigation concepts. This is also by Tripathi and Prasad. This means that India's agriculture is a work in progress. Science and technology is being used to figure out and create agriculture more efficient. Also, the use of land patterns, changing agricultural structures, changing cropping patterns, trends in food consumption, outputs, growth, input percentages, annual percentages, source of growth, and instability are all items India has been changing to create agriculture to be more efficient. This all shows that India has a lot of subsistence farms by the amount of labor used in the farming, but India is making changes to be more efficient and trying to change their ways to more commercial practices. Because modern farming practices are approaching and occurring, besides both the United States and India, other countries like Ethiopia and the underdeveloped countries have even a higher amount of force in agriculture. Ethiopia is the home of a large number of people living on less than $1 a day, although the economy is diversifying. Farming is still the basis for many people. This is stated from Farm Africa. In most developed countries, people are living on a lot more than $1 a day. For example, the United States, many people live on $5 to $10 a day, even more, because of modern technology and other expenses. Roughly 3 out of 4 Ethiopians' occupation is in agriculture, and mainly subsistence. Even with this high amount of farming occupations, more than 31 million do not have sufficient amounts of nutrient foods to eat. This is also stated from Farm Africa. This shows that subsistence farming in less developed countries is a process and lacks the use of modern technologies, hence why there are no nutrients in their food. Many farmers have the lack of training and equipment, as well as poor access to the ability of markets, which makes it difficult to earn a living. This poor access is difficult, but even more difficult without the access to education, training, and the use of equipment. But for local markets, farmers usually grow root vegetables, maize, wheat, and beans, while others grow coffee and cash crops. This is stated from Our Africa. Even though many have poor access to markets, they still produce market crops. Farming methods in Ethiopia will remain basic. This shows little advancement, but investment in farming could lead to major increase in crop yield, as well as nutritious crops could help the feeding of the people. Climates for agriculture purpose vary across the country, but it is pleasant in the most part. Ethiopia, unlike the United States and India, suffer from advancement. In comparison, Ethiopia is strictly subsistence farming, meaning most of the products stay for the farmer's family, but some will go to market. India is subsistence, but is working towards the advancement of more commercial ideas. On the other hand, the United States is mostly commercial and has the smallest percentage of people in the labor force. Attached is a map to pass around to show the occupation in the agricultural industry. This map shows Ethiopia and India's labor forces, as well as the United States. Most do have with agriculture agricultural services, because while subsistence farming is a significant occupation in both places, India may be showing slow advancement in science and technology, but Ethiopia doesn't have the technology of India or the United States. Next, we have a couple pictures. The first picture shows farming in India. Although science and technology advancements are being considered, India is still a work in progress. The middle picture shows farming in Ethiopia. Ethiopians are collecting beans and using basic farming methods. Finally, the picture on the way right is farming in the United States. The picture clearly shows the use of modern technology, which shows how commercial is used in the United States. Besides technology and labor forces, in comparison, less developed countries highly rely on subsistence farming and keeping the farm product on the farm, while more developed countries like the United States export their goods rather than keeping the product. In the more developed countries, agriculture is a form of business rather than a necessity. Overall, more developed countries use commercial agriculture, while less developed countries use strictly subsistence agriculture for the use of them and little trade. Some of the subsistence farmers are working towards the means of science and technology, such as India has, which will help using this modern technology will help them to become more commercial. Subsistence farming is the way of life to earn a living in these less developed countries, and is a high percentage of occupation for most, while farming in more developed countries contains lower percentage of jobs because of the technology, which keeps them continuously developing and growing. Farming around the world, as well as in the select countries, it is always difficult and different with the advancements, techniques, and technology, along with education. With limited access to advancement and modernization, it is hard for these less developed countries to succeed like the United States.